Going loud with some live. We are live. Welcome everybody to another episode of Cruising the Planet. This being the 11th. I am joined here from my right with Taylor.
Hi, I'm Taylor.
Jake.
Hi, I'm Jake.
And an old guest.
Hi, I'm an old guest.
Your name is Brendan.
What's your name?
Brendan.
Say your name.
Whatever
Your
they
name.
call me.
Use your
Name.
I think it's Brendan.
No,
I'm pretty
say
sure.
your name.
My name is Brendan.
I think that's his name.
Your name?
I'm going to beat you later, dude.
I'm just here to have a good time, man.
Well, all right. Let's get some announcements out of the way. So,
My night class got canceled.
we're not there yet. It's like, I have a script. There is a plan in place
Scripts
since
are
you've
meant
left.
to
I
be
can't read, so that doesn't matter.
torn.
Since you, yeah, I read it.
Read your script.
Announcements. Enter. This Friday, Jake is going to be in the new weekly short. Jake, tell us a little bit about how you enjoyed it.
It was a really fun short.
Thank you. A little bit of an apology on my end. Last week's stream, for those of you who were not able to get to it or not able to see it, we had a bit of a problem on the
A little bit of an oopsie daisy.
the internet itself. But it came out as a broken up video. We weren't able to get those put together
I blame
because
the government.
Okay, that's great. Because of the way that YouTube Lives work, we're not able to really stitch those back together unless we went in and did a bunch of post-production work, which we don't really have the time or kind of a need for right now. So if it's a big enough complaint, let us know, and we'll go in and fix it. And then for people who are listening to the podcast, they have no idea what I'm talking about because I was able to fix it literally 5 minutes before it was supposed to go live.
Nice.
Yeah, last Thursday was stressful. I got the short out, I got the YouTube Live up and fixed, and I got the this podcast up and fixed all within like the day,
Nice.
That's impressive.
with help from Taylor too.
nice.
Hey.
Go Taylor.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank
Woo.
you.
This
Guess
time-
who didn't help at all?
Me.
Yes, me.
You want to talk about that?
No.
Okay. Moving on. Where have you been, Brendan? What's up? What's going on?
I have night class now
hey,
for some
hey.
reason. I don't know why.
Safe place.
It's safe?
You can talk.
Then why do I feel terrified?
You
I
should.
don't know.
That's just you,
I
bud.
don't know.
You should be.
That's just you.
Just
being spooked.
impending doom constantly.
So
How
we're
about
in
another
a,
joke, Brennan?
Another joke?
Continue.
My GPA.
we're in another
Ooh.
semester,
Yeah.
and as such, you had a scheduling change
Yeah.
that we found out all too late after
Literally like a couple of days before the first episode.
of this new semester. Right after the day after I had gotten a shift changed at my old job, at my other place, and you walk in, you're like, oh yeah, I have a thing. Can we move it to the other day? I was like,
ag marketing
I was like,
from 6 to 9:15.
I was like, Brendan, I just changed that
yeah.
to the other day, man.
Yeah. There I go.
So
Being me again.
now that you're not able to work with us on this podcast, do you want to talk about the thing you've been working on today?
Oh, lore library? Dude, okay, so here's the thing. It's lore library. It's a library of lore. It's pretty cool. We're
What
gonna
is that?
It's
What
okay,
is-
so
elaborate,
essentially
what is lore?
it is going to
Stop,
be
not
a
that.
journey through the world of your actually a bunch of worlds.
Yep.
All your favorite ones. Star Wars, Warhammer 40K.
Name them.
Let's see,
Name 'em.
probably Halo.
Name 'em.
I'm thinking
All
we could do some
those-
fantasy and stuff. I
There
don't
we
really
go.
know that. Lord of the Rings, why not?
Star
could do,
Trek.
yeah, Star Trek,
lot of
Magic the
Star.
Gathering,
Metal
maybe.
Gear Solid.
Hold on.
Yeah, dude, I'm serious. There's a lot of options
Slow
here.
it down on that one, man.
Essentially, it is going to be a journey. I'm going to be your guide, and I'm going to give you all the relevant information about all your favorite, all the current pop culture favorite universes from our perspective here at KTRL
Yeah.
and KXTR.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun. The first season is going to be Star Wars, and I actually forgot to mention this. It's going to be on like a season-by-season basis, so each season we're going to have a new universe to explore. We haven't quite decided how long the seasons are going to be or any of that good stuff.
Because we haven't made any of it yet, really.
Exactly.
This is all up in the air.
We'll be
Smoke and
starting it-
mirrors, baby.
Yeah, next Tuesday, and it'll come out, what, the Friday after that?
No.
No,
It will
3
not.
Fridays after that.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
takes time to distribute things.
Yeah. But it'll be cool. We already have the first episode planned out, so, you know.
You have the first episode
I
planned
have the
out.
first episode
This is
planned
this
out.
is Brendan's show. He's
I'm pretty
hosting
excited
it.
about it. It's going to be cool.
It's a show by Brendan.
For Brendan. Nobody else is going to listen.
Yes.
My favorite.
Thank
It's
you,
very
Jake.
niche, actually. I'm the only audience member, so
He's the.
I'm performing for myself.
A couple of months ago, before we even got announced that Cole's show was being made, we did a bit of a brainstorming group in house. This was before you came into the scene, Taylor, of
The dark
podcasts
Oh, yeah.
podcasts that we could produce and put on online at the station. Now that we know how to do podcasts, and now that we have someone who manages them and all of those things in a network, and this was one of the original ideas, and Lance loved it immediately.
I love the way that sounded.
That
That
was
was
a
a
cool sound.
good
That was
sound effect.
yeah.
All right.
That was
For
cool.
everybody that's just listening and not watching, Ethan just kind of slapped the desk, and it was a
And
heck of a
I'm,
lot
I'm
cooler
not
than
gonna
I
do that
expected it to
again.
be.
And Jake, please don't. I said please.
Didn't say Brendan don't. Bam. No, it's fine.
Come
I didn't
on,
do it.
man. Dude.
It's all right.
If you're gonna like hype it up, you gotta
It's
follow
fine.
through.
Oh no, of course not.
Moving
No,
on.
that's the thing. You ever read Ethan Frome?
M-
Sometimes things just turn out badly, and there's no
Who?
reason for it.
Ethan who?
Ethan Frome. It's Jane,
Don't-
Jane Austen? Is
Don't
that who-
mess with
is
my
that who
don't mess
writes
with
that
my
book?
name like that.
No, no,
Pronounced
no.
Miller.
It's
You
that's
know me.
That's a really weird way to pronounce Miller.
You
man.
know
All
me.
right.
You,
Frome. I don't
we've
know.
been friends for
It's
a while.
Close. Yeah, well, I just.
Yeah,
I'm-
well, you know.
Yeah, well, you know.
I make it a point not to remember people's names.
Mhm.
Me
oh,
too.
Yeah, bye,
no,
Brendan.
No level.
No levels.
Somebody give me your mic.
Hey, you
Oh,
can
I
borrow
cannot be
mine.
silenced. You cannot silence me.
All right, you're back.
He tries to silence me on a daily basis. Don't
Doesn't
worry.
work.
For anyone,
Just
yeah, I
doesn't
just started turning down Brendan's levels, see what we could do.
Kind of rude, but all right.
Moving on to the main meat and potatoes of this week's show. I, as some of you may know, run the Twitter account. I'm sorry
That's who does that?
for the. Yeah, it's me.
Ooh,
It's a me. It's your boy.
it's a me.
It's
Ethan
me.
Frome.
No. But to become that, because it's part of my job, and every so often I need to like learn how to be a little bit better at my job, just a little bit. I've come across a bit of research recently. There was a bunch of articles written up back in 2017. The peak like blogging season for social media marketers and like that whole like buzzword genre. What's up? You were gonna say something?
I was actually gonna lean in and make a random noise and just really throw a kink in what you were saying, but like I decided not to.
Why not?
Thanks.
Don't
I appreciate
Felt
your
like
like.
being nice. I don't
follow
know.
through.
Nope.
Thanks.
This
This
guy.
is not today's theme.
So what I was able to figure out is that to be competitive in the market of this whole thing that is social media, for a Twitter account, you must make between 1 and 52 tweets a day, curating about 7 tweets, being a like or a retweet or a comment. And Instagram, you need to make between 1 and 2 Instagram posts a
a
day,
day?
and you only have to like retweet or comment if it can aid your audience whatsoever. Such a scientific and like sterile
Yeah, I
like
just throw stuff at the
stuff.
wall.
I may
Yeah.
be just a degenerate, but I don't even get on Instagram once or twice a week.
right.
Yeah.
I
just
post
get on
only
Twitter.
when I have like time to be off Twitter.
No, I get on Twitter. I'm constantly. I waste time on Twitter like it is my job.
I yeah.
Like I
Well,
get paid
actually,
for it.
speaking of, you run a Twitter account as well.
Not anymore.
Oh,
no.
they
Yeah.
got rid of you.
Past that mantle. I gotta say, it was great while it lasted, though. I was funny.
Oh yeah.
I once had an
Nice.
argument with myself on Twitter.
Nice.
I was
was a
never
good
bold
time.
enough to do such a thing. I
Really?
referenced myself once,
Mm-mm.
and that was early on.
I straight up called myself a nerd.
Oh no.
That's weak sauce,
Great.
man.
That's the deepest cut.
Well, I mean,
that's
I
the
don't remember
deepest
exactly
cut.
what it was.
It's the deepest cut.
All right, you know what? I didn't think this was a job review for me.
But using hold on,
so-
it's not.
Wait,
Using those numbers, what do you guys think about that? Is 15 tweets a day and 1 to 2 Instagram posts every single day? That like no weekends, there was none of that. It even on Twitter gave a recommended schedule of starting at like 6 a.m. and ending at like 3 a.m.
good gravy.
Yeah, like specific hours that you're supposed to be on these social media sites. Do you guys have any thoughts on this of like being way too much in?
I think if you tweet that much, I will unfollow you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was it averaged like on Twitter, to be a bit more specific, it was 1 to 52 they found was the range of like a standard Twitter account, and that 15 tweets a day is what's gonna be the most bang for your buck tweets.
So is that tweets and retweets or just tweets?
Just tweets.
Like original
7
tweets?
retweets
Yeah.
a day.
No. That's way too many. That at that point you're just bombarding your followers' feeds, and they're like, okay, this is annoying. I already know about what's happening.
I mean, it's
don't
also
need to know
like
more.
a day,
Yeah.
and like you're awake for like 15 like hours. usually.
Exactly.
So it's like a tweet an hour. That's not that
Exactly.
big of a deal.
I just that
Jake's
feels
cool
like too
with it.
many.
I'm fine with it, if it's like your job,
Right.
you know, or if like you only exist on Twitter, which is also fine.
Let me spin it this way. Would you be cool with getting an hourly update by every single user on Twitter?
No,
Not all at once.
I don't.
Not
care
well,
about
of
people
course
that
it's not all
much.
at once because like time zones exist. We all live on a
I
different
think
area.
it depends on the
But
user.
also it's like within the hour is kind of the recommendation. You want
Yeah.
to make a tweet between 6 and 8, a tweet between 8 and 9,
Yeah.
and so on and so on forth.
Definitely depends on the user.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely like there's some users who I'm like, hey, I like this guy. I want to see him as much as possible.
Yeah,
And
that's a
there's
good
others who
point.
are like, you're fine, but like I don't need to see your stuff. All
I think
the
you
time.
got to be funny.
So then it's like quality at that point.
Yes, it's
well, I
very-
follow a ton of art accounts on my personal stuff. I follow funny, horror, and art. That's like
Yeah.
the 3 things that I follow. Go figure, right? And so it's always good to have a funny little webcomic. And then sometimes I'm feeling like looking at some genuinely interesting art, and other times I feel like looking at something really spooky. And so if I got one of those every hour,
Yeah.
that's pretty well balanced.
I think you're a smart Twitter user, though.
Uh-oh.
Personally, I'm not very smart, so I
Hey,
just follow.
don't do that. You're my friend.
Well, listen, hear me out. I
Okay.
just follow a bunch of random accounts, most of whom tweeted one thing that I saw, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. So, like, I just have this disgusting conglomeration of, junk on my Twitter feed. So, like, that's where my perspective is. If one of these accounts that I followed because they occasionally tweet something that's mildly entertaining, if one of them started tweeting like 15 times a day, I would probably unfollow and block them. But for people that actually use Twitter in like a more curated manner to know about things that they're genuinely interested in, I think 15 a day is a little more reasonable.
I'm actually against blocking.
Really?
Oh, yeah?
I do have accounts blocked, but
I'm
they're
gonna
all
block Jake after this.
do it.
Coward.
Do it. Proving me right. Anyways, what I was saying is I have a few accounts blocked. They're really just like brands that like have promoted tweets that I just
Silence brand.
dislike. Like I just like I see them like if it's like once it's like whatever. That's just ads kind of suck. But if it's like on a frequent basis, I see the same crappy ad over and over again. I'm
Like
like
Mr. Peanut lately?
I mean, yeah, I'm really
I wish he'd shut up.
I'm really
I've
considering
seen
blocking
more-
Mr.
Peanuts.
I've seen Taylor. Are you familiar with the Mr. Peanut stuff?
Yes.
I have seen more people reacting to Mr. Peanut than actual Mr. Peanut.
That's how you know it's a good ad campaign.
Exactly.
That's fair.
I will respect them on that. It's a genius ad. It's not
Yeah.
even it's not even genius. Like it's like
It's
the
honestly,
whole Mr. Peanut death thing. That's smart. And then like
it's so
them
stupid that it's
reviving-
come back around
no
to being
them
smart.
them reviving them. That's where I lose it. Because
Yeah.
it's so obvious that they're just trying to take this new trend of like
Of the baby trend.
the baby trend, and it's like okay, I get it. You want like a cute.
It just clicked for you.
It literally did.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
I wish all of our podcast listeners would go on YouTube and find that one moment because I know that
Yeah.
was beautiful.
Go onto the live stream.
I-
Go look up the video. It's gonna be Cruisin the Planet, episode 11. It'll be titled that something
because
funny.
like that's where it loses me because
I
it's like
just
okay,
realized
like them killing their mascot, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's like an interesting.
I thought it was gonna go somewhere.
Yeah, but then they're
didn't.
like, oh,
It
he's
didn't.
back, but as like a baby, and it's like,
Where did the baby even come from? Did they
I don't
describe
know.
that? Was
I
it
don't
like
know.
an
I think it was
immaculate conception
No,
sort
it
of
was
situation?
Kool-Aid Man's tears.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. It watered
Oh,
the ground.
Yeah, Taylor, go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, there
Tell us
wasn't
about
much
it.
to explain, but they like the commercial. I think I first saw it
From
on
the
the
beginning.
Super Bowl.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and all the like iconic people like Mr. Clean, like everyone was around at his funeral, and the Kool-Aid Man like was crying, and he leaned over, and a tear hit the ground like where Mr. Peanut was, and all of a sudden it's like this little sprout,
Oh,
and then
good
there was
Lord.
this tiny little peanut with the little peanut hat, and it was like the baby Mr. Peanut.
Oh
It was
yeah,
cute.
am I right?
I mean,
You-
I bought it.
You like it?
I like it.
Yeah.
Because it's like, we knew Mr. Peanut, like, grown up. And now it's like, now they have to go with this. And maybe he'll grow up and we can watch him grow up.
I don't want a
What
teenage
is-
Mr. Peanut.
What does an
though.
angsty
Yeah, no,
teenager
that's the
Mr.
thing.
I
Peanut
don't
look like?
care.
No, that's
No.
the thing. We're done with the 90s. That's when teenage angst was at its peak.
Exactly.
We don't need another like angsty
Like,
teenage
Okay,
character.
Here's
but
the
we are
deal.
going into another decade.
No.
Maybe you'll have,
slow
like,
it down.
spicy peanuts. Like, when he's a teenager.
Oh shoot.
Planters needs to hire you.
Or at least their marketing
Yeah.
team.
No, they're not
Yeah.
gonna hire her because they already took her idea.
Yeah, just now.
Gotta keep that
Sorry.
stuff zipped.
Sorry, Taylor.
Oh, yeah.
No,
okay.
but like, I just don't. The angsty teen thing we all saw in Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
I didn't see
With
it.
Groot.
Yeah, with Groot.
Oh, yeah.
Like that was it. It was like, oh, he's a dumb. Like, he's not fun to be around, and he says nasty words, and it's just like, oh, that's relatable. But like, angsty teens are just insecure people who don't understand how to deal with their emotions. Like, play on the inner side of that turmoil, man. Don't
What
just show
about-
me a piece of dirt.
The problem
child.
is that like is never going to come out in an advertisement campaign. They're never going to put effort into something like that.
But
There's a lot of post production
about-
in that ad campaign. Kool-Aid Man was rendered out very well. Mr. Clean was run up. I'll get to you
We're
in a second,
talking
Brendan.
about like that like that kind of creative like they're not going to put that much of like a creative like emphasis on a simple like kind of one-off ad
Yeah.
campaign.
Brendan, what was your idea?
I was gonna say depressed 20-year-old Mr.
Oh,
Peanut.
no. So just the guy that
Hashtag
runs the account.
relatable.
Yeah.
The guy that runs the
Yeah.
account,
It's-
just like black and white, and he sits down. And it's just like kind of out of focus on the volume. Just like,
Yeah.
all right, sound check. Everyone good? And he like walks into frame. And he sits. And he's like, hi, my name is Avery Smith. I run the Mr. Peanut account. And then like a little jingle plays. Like, yeah, it just started off as an idea of like, hey, what if we made Mr. Peanut on Twitter? And then like that's the ad. That is the
I feel
whole
like
ad.
That goes down like a really dark route because the only like end game I can see for that is
Exactly what
commercials-
started Mr. Baby. Like,
Well, no, I was gonna say like this guy just sitting alone in his apartment, wondering like whether he hates his job enough to quit or if he doesn't, if he could stand it, and it's just
So
like
it's a
this
sitcom.
existential crisis. Yeah, pretty
I don't-
much. Except
I
it's
don't-
just
you
sad. not
rewrote
funny.
Jessica Jones.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
more of a
care
sick
enough about
depression.
that peanut to see him grow up.
Yeah.
I'm going to be completely honest with you. Like it's
I just want the time jump. I liked those stop motion Mr. Peanuts where he had
Here's-
swagger in them.
here's
was-
the
Yeah.
no, here's the problem
Yeah.
with like doing a time jump to like him being like the new Mr. Peanut. Why kill him in the first place other than like that initial like hey, we have a
Hold up,
a
Jake.
baby.
Jake, why have a mascot in the first place?
That's a good point. That's a good point.
It's not like it's an actual story being told.
No, actually
It's to sell a
It's all
product.
No,
a selling
that's
tactic,
true.
man.
but like why even bother with this whole like arc when it's pointless?
To get the baby.
Okay.
They don't want to grow the baby. They just wanted baby.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I'm baby.
We're-
Maybe.
He's kicked out.
He's kicked out.
He's kicked out.
But back onto that
See you,
stuff.
folks.
Like, you don't want 15 tweets of. Back to these like studies and these actual like real research.
Yeah.
We don't want 15 tweets a day of baby peanut. We don't want 1 to 2 Instagram posts. I don't know. Instagram, I feel like those were some reasonable things of like 1 to 2 a day. That's doable, yeah.
Yeah. Silence, brain.
Like
Silence.
like I said, depends on the content.
Mm-hmm.
Like I
Like daily comics people
yeah.
never have a problem with those.
Yeah.
People
like,
who make daily comics,
yeah, like that's
a daily photography thing.
if that's your thing, yeah. I'm personally not like invested in like the photography scene
I get
to
that.
care. But if you are into like that, I can definitely see you wanting something like that. But I don't want to see like a post an hour from a brand,
Mm-hmm.
you know. Sorry, brands, but you're not people.
Well, then again, this is going on the like we're making these arguments against it on the assumption of like you're on Twitter. My bad. You're on Twitter all the time,
yeah,
and you see all of them.
yeah.
How many times do you realistically get on Twitter? And I know like the answer is a lot or like way too much, but like a number a day. How many times are you on Twitter? Like, do you get on it in the morning? Do you get it on it in your like in the evening for the most part?
Yeah,
Is it?
I'd say so.
15.
0.
Uh-oh.
I'm never on Twitter.
Taylor's like out of the conversation.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
that's why I haven't commented that much. I'm like, I don't know.
What are you on
nothing
then?
with him.
What's your social media of choice?
Everything else.
use?
I do literally everything but Twitter. Now Instagram.
probably smart.
Instagram.
Well, let's talk about the
I
Instagram
check
thing
it.
then.
Okay, I check Instagram. I don't know. Like if I catch myself not doing anything and I don't
Mhm.
have anything to do, like I open up Instagram. So
Mm.
it's like could be anywhere from 0 if I'm really busy to like I don't know 20.
Right.
It just doesn't matter. But I think like 1 to 2 posts a day on Instagram, like I see that anyway, even if like it's not a huge company or a big
Mhm.
deal. And I could get down with that. Like there's so many people that I like watching and following and
Yeah.
like seeing what they're up to. Like I would totally lose it if they made a post every day. Like I would think
Yeah.
that would be so cool. So
If they made 2 posts every single day on like these Instagram accounts that you
Mhm.
followed,
I'd like both of them instantly.
yeah, they'd be like, great. This
Yeah.
is only more of what I want.
Yeah. No, I always get I'm a sucker for getting trapped into like, like an ad for something. I'll go follow this account and like the first, I don't know, 10 to 15 things that they show are
Mhm.
decent, so I follow them.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that it's almost like constant ads or
Mm.
like something stupid. So like those I would get extremely annoyed if they really posted like 2 times a day.
But like, we're adults and we're allowed to unfollow you, and like that
That's
should
true.
be sort of the market boundary. There is
Yeah.
like if you get annoying, you'll see a decline
Mhm.
Yeah.
in interaction,
That's true.
and so just like sort of gauge that.
Yeah.
I think we can all agree that Taylor's probably the healthiest out of the 3 of us.
Oh, I'm the least healthiest.
'Cause
Not
Twitter
even
is
in
a
regards to,
cesspit.
not even in regards to like social media.
Jake, that wasn't part of it. You claimed a crown that was never forged. You
We
s-
can make
It's a
one.
crown. It's
We
a.
can make one.
I'd quote Trent
Out of empty
Reznor,
soda
but
cans.
it's can't say that word.
Yeah.
It's fine.
PG-13.
Yeah.
I wear
Alright.
this crown of blank.
Okay, chill out.
Thorns?
Nope, stop it, both of you.
Okay.
You're thinking of the Johnny Cash cover.
Yeah.
It's a cover.
Moving on.
Oh.
So we
He
think.
didn't know.
Whack.
So good job. Taylor is the healthiest when it comes to social media. I'm too worried about the interaction and the numbers, and y'all hate Baby Peanut.
Well,
I
that's
mean,
We did it.
I'm all right
Yeah.
with him.
no. I hate him.
Good.
I just say
Oh.
silence brand.
I like
Anyway,
Baby
moving on.
Peanut.
I hate
Cute.
him.
Yeah.
Well, there it goes. We've had perhaps not enough of Baby Peanut because you don't go on Twitter
I
a lot.
enjoy
I don't.
hating Baby Peanut.
So you've turned the negatives into positives
Yeah.
about Baby Peanut, and Jake's seen too much of Baby Peanut.
I'm just. It's not even I have not seen a lot of it. I just don't.
He's seen so much.
I've seen
Listen
one.
to him go.
No, I've seen one,
Listen to him
and that
go.
was it.
He's seen so much Baby Peanut.
Yes.
It's awful. This poor man. Every
I'm dead.
every day. Brendan, stop.
Sorry.
This guy.
It's like herding cats in here.
Give me your hat.
My hat?
Yeah, give me your hat.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, they have swapped hats. As
Swap.
in
We
Jake.
didn't swap
as
anything.
in
You just
Jake.
stole my hat.
Let me finish. He didn't steal. He asked you.
Well, that's like saying, let me hold $20. Are you going to let the guy hold $20, or are you just going to, risk your chances?
What?
If some guy
hey,
comes
hey,
up to you,
hey, no. To
like
be
a mu-
fair, in the video game Team Fortress 2, there are some hats where you can remove the player's hat.
That's a really good point.
So we did technically swap hats.
Yeah. We, life is a simulation. Nothing is real. No, the earth is not real.
Taylor, how do you take notes?
Cornell style, I bet.
Like
Wow. Way to just put someone in a pocket. Brendan, you complete jerk.
Animal.
You absolute.
Why aren't you here often?
I know.
Come on,
I
Taylor.
have class. We talked about this.
Cancel
Okay.
him. You're great.
That's
This guy's
fair.
great.
Right?
do you mean like school notes?
How
Or
how do you take
something?
notes? Like personal notes, school notes, note taking.
Mm, I use like the note app on my phone, but I also have like a planner.
Mm-hmm.
So if I have space in my planner, and if it's something really quickly, like
Yeah.
take a note, I need to get this from Walmart.
So like written notes.
it's in my yeah. If
So-
it's like a note, like something longer than maybe like 5 or 6 words, I
Mhm.
put it in my phone.
Okay.
So, but
For like
I have
So
a
class
you're
notes,
planner.
too?
you're a digital note taking person.
Oh.
yeah.
So you type them.
mm-hmm.
Got it.
Mhm.
Brendan, how do you go about taking your notes?
Violently.
You can't read, so
It's also true. That's why I
doesn't take
just
notes.
scribble onto the page and I come back to it afterwards and then set it on fire out of frustration.
So
and decide
fans
I'll
of the
try
show-
it
This
tomorrow.
joke has completely just
what
you
Brendan's trying to-
drove it into the ground,
what
man.
Brendan's
actually,
trying
get
to
him off the
do
show.
Do
is
you want me
just-
to actually explain?
I'm gonna
how I
turn the
take
mics
notes?
off so I can
Okay.
explain it. What Brendan's trying to do is assuage you from thinking he takes really beautiful cursive notes, which is what I've seen him do many a times. Would you like to explain the reason why you do this?
I got sent to alternative school while I was in high school, and I didn't have anything else to do. I'm 100% serious too, I swear.
My brother's been in alt school. He got nothing.
I taught myself to write cursive in alternative school.
Okay.
I was there for a month. I finished all my
Mhm.
work before noon, and then I got
course.
bored, so I would just write pages. I would write stories. I would find things online to just copy down.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so now I take notes in a very I've had one professor refer to it as girly, others refer to it as beautiful, and I also color code them.
No
So,
way.
Yeah, things coming
Wow.
off of the PowerPoint are in black ink. Things that come out of the lecture are in green ink.
Mm-hmm.
And stupid things that I think while I'm listening are in red.
Yeah, your stinky things.
Yeah.
I've
Wait,
started
what?
been doing that with my like I have a notebook where I study Japanese. I've
Yeah,
been
let's go.
starting to do
How
that.
do you do notes, Jake?
In a notebook, but
Wow.
no, but seriously, school notes. This semester I haven't been taking any notes because all my classes are just digital.
Yeah.
So it's just I don't need to bring a backpack.
That's
Don't need to
nice.
bring any pens. Just go there,
You live a-
and then
you live
I'll
a harsh life, my friend.
I'll do
I'm sorry.
codes, and I'll save
Codes.
those codes.
Hold codes.
I have a
Like ciphers.
like C++.
Okay. Got it.
I'll save like C++ on a computer
Java.
and put it in a Dropbox, and if I need to review it,
Mm-hmm.
I'll just get it from the Dropbox.
Got it.
So none of that this semester. Previous semesters, I just wrote them down as I saw them. If the professor says something of importance, wrote it down.
In plain text English?
It's just in plain text English.
Interesting.
But I do keep a notebook for when I want to study Japanese, and I use like a not really color code yet. I haven't developed color code, but like I've been using like when it comes to like memorizing kanji, I'll write a kanji out in a certain color that I
And
connect to
kanji
it.
is the symbols, yes.
Yes, kanji
Okay.
is the symbols. So like I haven't done it with this one because I memorized this before I developed my color coding, but it'd be like I do the water kanji in blue,
Okay.
you know, and like the fire kanji in red, which is
A bit
another
of
one.
association.
Yes, like
Yeah.
just
Like
like
build those symbols and those sounds and stuff up.
yes, and like make the connections to them.
Are you
through
one of the
color.
people who thinks in symbols and like ideas?
Sort of, yeah, actually. I've always kind of told myself that I have this, like almost connection with symbology.
Mm-hmm.
Like I really, really like flags.
Yeah.
I
we've
really,
talked about this.
yes,
yeah,
we
you
have
love
talked
it.
about this.
Vexillology.
Vexillology. I like when it comes to like music, which is like my main hobby.
Mhm.
I really resonate with the album artwork because I like just
You can go if you need to. Okay. Keep going, Jake.
Okay.
You're good.
I'm
I
gonna
just
wait on corn dog.
what's it called? I just God, I'm blanking. I'm sorry.
Vexology. We were talking about
No,
flags, iconography.
Music, like album artwork. I like to kind of put the album artwork to the music.
Mhm.
Like so when people ask me like would you rather be like blind or deaf?
Yeah.
It's almost impossible for me to choose between one or the other because I would
Mm.
lose out on half
Of everything.
Yes, exactly.
But you would lose out on almost more than half of everything if you went on either one.
Yeah.
Because, like, you don't get sounds, so there's no association with those images.
Yeah. But, if I lose the images,
the sounds are but nothing to you.
yes.
They are simply noise.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Mhm.
I bring this question up because I've been studying a newer version of note-taking that is apparently faster
Oh,
than
yeah.
human speech. It's called Greg Shorthand.
Greg.
I keep this little wallet-sized book with me.
I am looking that up.
Everyone can see. Oh, you don't have to look it up. I'll show you some examples.
Well, I'm still gonna look it up for future reference.
Yeah, go ahead.
Word.
So here's a little bit, audience, real quick. If you're curious what Greg Shorthand looks like, if you're listening to the podcast, GREGG, the word shorthand in standard English, developed by Dr. Greg, I think out in the United Kingdom, back in the 17th century technology, I believe.
Boo. Old.
Boo, old, stinky, looks like sorcery.
Whoa.
Yeah, check that out for a bit.
Okay.
Oh, is that what doctors write?
Yes.
Actually, speaking of, I was looking into it and I was like researching like how is Dr. Scribble such a thing? Because like I thought it was a joke. I thought they wrote in cursive. I'm part of the cursive gang,
Yeah.
right? And I saw some
Nice.
doctors' medical iconography and such, and turns out they use Greg's shorthand
That's what
modified.
I was actually like, it may sound like a joke, but I
Yeah.
actually genuinely was like, oh, that just does look like doctor handwriting.
It is that is technically doctor's handwriting is technically that. What doctors do is so the way Greg's shorthand works, and I can explain it very simply. It takes the English, not the English alphabet, but the English language, and makes it phonetic. We haven't studied who have y'all studied phonics at all?
No.
No.
Dude,
Yeah.
I'm an ag ed major.
I know.
You would definitely want to study phonics then. I'd recommend it.
Why?
I know.
For cows?
Korean.
Yeah.
I know Korean script is very
Okay.
phonic.
Hmm. So the whole point of phonetics was to associate sounds with the way that the rules of English worked, not to do spelling memorization like we've all been taught.
Yeah.
You know, we've been taught cat is C-A-T. Well, in this, you were taught it's the ka sound, A, but it's the softer A, so it's a short A, the ah, and then the T sound being t, or the te sound, te. So what you do is you sort of learn these symbols that are attached to certain sounds, and if you put a correct number of symbols together, you get a correct sequence of sounds that so happen to be the common word for cat, dog, trash can, whatever. What doctors have done is they have taken so phonetics doesn't use the exact same spelling. So like the word cake, C-A-K-E, right, in standard English.
Yeah.
In a phonetic spelling, it's just C long C. What was it? C long A K, or K long A K, I believe. I'm trying
Yes, it would be a K.
because the K sound. There's C is a shortening in English for both the S or the K sound. And so you have in phonetics there is no letter C. There is, however, the letter che, there's the letter ng, and the letter thorn. I don't know what it's called. Oh, there's also the letter ish.
Ish?
Sorry,
When
it's
was
called
this
ing.
developed? The 1800s, it says.
I believe so.
2009.
Yeah, 2009. 88?
Yeah, 1888.
1888.
Wow.
Thank you, Jake.
Because that's I know
was
I've kind
close.
of like given up on this, but
Mhm.
that's very similar to how like Esperanto is as a language,
Yeah, we talked about this a while ago.
where like every letter in like the Esperanto alphabet has a distinct
Drawn out.
sound.
Quit that.
You know, like every letter has like a distinct sound. Like there is a C in Esperanto, but
Mhm.
like it's used like it's like pizza.
Mhm.
Sa, the sa sound is like
Yeah.
where the C comes from. Anything else that would make like a typical like cake sound is a K, ch,
Yeah.
like
The che sound.
the
The
che
che
sound.
letter.
yeah, that is like a C with like a circumflex. Everyone calls it a hat. The correct
Mhm.
terminology is a circumflex, which is like a little point.
Right.
The circumflex.
Yeah, circumflex. So
Thank
that's sort of what
you,
I
brother.
remembered, even though
Have you flexed yet?
I basically forgot all the Esperanto I know.
It's all right. But
Yeah.
so one of the reasons that I was curious about this is because it's apparently lets you do the ability to, or give you the ability to write at the speed of human speech.
Light. Oh.
Yeah, the speed of light. I'm not fast at it yet. Currently, I'm able to just do like 3-syllable words at normal speed.
Yeah.
But it was super easy to memorize. And I was just curious if you guys had experimented with any other sort of note-taking things. You know, like how did you get to the point where you take your digital notes, where you type them in, or you've gotten to your cursive? It's a comfort thing? Yeah?
If
I think it's pretty.
If I take notes in class, I like kind of do cursive.
Mm-hmm.
I do
Yeah.
like if I do cursive, like it's very erratic, cause like the thing is in school is they teach you to do cursive very like kind of elegantly so you know what you're writing,
Mm-hmm.
but when you're in the fields of reality,
Yeah.
cursive is there not to look fancy, but just to get something written quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Something that maybe someone else doesn't need to know, but you can understand from just looking at it. You
Right.
know, sort of like Greg, but
Mm-hmm.
not
I mean, it's
a
certainly-
universal thing, a very personal.
No, yeah.
It's certainly a little bit of symbology because, I mean, once you get to a certain point with cursive, you can leave off certain little bits that you don't, like, if nobody else needs to read it, it's really not necessary.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of the times, I end up scribbling a few letters together if I'm writing like really fast in the middle of a really intense lecture. Because like I know nobody else would ever be able to read it, but I can look at it and know what it means.
Yeah.
And it ends up
And then
making it a lot quicker.
you use context clues.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's
yeah.
something interesting in Greg that I found out is that words that are phonetically similar, they will lose meaning if you don't add context to them. It gives you the ability to write quickly, but date loses every one of its meanings. There loses every one of its meanings. There's no specificity anymore. You trade that for speed.
But then again, like when it comes to there,
Context.
God, I'm
yeah,
learning
it's
so much
context
today.
because like you go on like let's say you're on YouTube
Mhm.
and there's some idiot who's like, they're really stupid, and they spell it THERE. You know what they mean because of the context,
Yeah.
and that's when you correct them. Say it's it's THEY''RE.
Yeah, and that's how you're able to even give them that confirmation or the correction on what they're trying to use because you already know the correct spelling for
Yeah,
them.
but like it's all context. So it's not necessary because then you get into the phonetics of nail, or like hammering a nail.
NAIL versus
Yeah.
NALE? Or no? Both are spelled the same, aren't they?
And like,
Fingernail.
and I
versus
mean, you
nail.
can look at
That's actually
also
really cool.
with Japanese, like the word that's like associated with 5
Mhm.
is the same as the word that associates, I think, with language. They're both go.
Because it's
Mm.
a phonetic language, right?
Yeah, well, it's like there is like I think different tonal shifts,
Yeah.
but the way you would differentiate that on paper is kanji, because the
Yeah.
kanji for 5 is radically different from the kanji for language. Like it's language is a lot more of a complicated. I think
Okay.
it's like a level 3 when kanji is like a level 1, like a grade 1.
Mm.
So yeah, context. It's important.
Interesting.
Yes.
I was doing a little bit of eating earlier. This is just a complete shatter of a segue.
Just a little bit of eating.
I went out to go get some food. I did a little bit of eating. I went
Okay.
out to get some food.
Okay.
And I noticed that the snow was actually falling. The snow that we were promised all day.
Oh,
it
yeah.
it was gone in like 10 minutes.
Oh.
Don't worry about it. It didn't collect up at all.
One day.
Who?
It's like sleeting outside.
Well, yeah,
little
it's
bit.
great, ain't it? It's real good.
Cool.
Show of hands. Who wanted? Thank you, Brendan. Show of hands. Who was looking to get the day off, the entire day frozen in?
Oh, absolutely me.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
You weren't?
No, I have
Why?
stuff to do.
Like
So?
school?
Do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
What?
We wanted to be canceled so we can do our stuff at home.
Yeah.
I have
Also,
videos
just
to
like
edit.
I just like
You
snow.
can-
You just like snow?
Yeah, I'm a simple
yeah,
man.
So, who
I
in here-
miss
all right.
snow.
I don't like the drive. I don't want to drive
Okay.
in frozen roads.
Let's break it up. What would you, if you were to pick a temperature to live at
Cold.
the rest of your life? Pick a number.
A number.
Pick a number temperature.
75.
Okay.
Ooh, I was gonna say 74.
Now
Mm.
now like
I'm gonna say like
the rain, the
Nice.
precipitation could change, the winds could change, but always at 75. That's like the rule here. It's always
60.
the same number.
60.
But it could rain. The like sun could come out, so you got that like.
the only constant
Yeah,
is
75
temperature.
still.
60. I prefer cold.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine with like cold rains. I'm fine
Mhm.
with cold like skies.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty resilient in the cold. I don't want it too cold because then I'd start to hate the cold after a certain time or get used to it. That's whatever. But like a kind of a nice sort of like gentle chill, that's like perfect weather for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's like perfect temperature all around.
See, my thing is more so that I like having both. Like I enjoy in experiencing the full year where you have a cold winter, a hot summer, a warm spring, and a chilly fall.
Mm-hmm.
That is
I
my favorite.
Yes.
would be fine skipping the hot summer. Like all the others I'm
Whack.
fine with.
Heat
No.
ain't your thing.
Heat, I cannot stand sweat. I don't like the process because like here's the thing. If I have an air conditioning unit
Mm-hmm.
and it breaks down during the summer, I'm sweating. I
Mhm.
do not like sweat. I think it's disgusting.
Really?
Yes,
It's
absolutely.
just body tears.
It's disgusting. Anyways, but if that AC unit breaks down during like the winter where it's really uncomfortable, yeah, that sucks, and I don't like it. But I can cover up. I can wear.
See,
my
that's
clothes.
always been my argument there, and this was especially during like growing up and doing a bunch of camping on the weekends, I hated camping in the summer because you could never get enough clothes off, and it was impolite to take your skin off
Yes.
in public
Among
or
other
even in private.
things.
But in the winter, it was always fine to put more clothes on.
That's true.
Mhm.
As long as you don't get wet, you can stay warm in any temperature.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
be very honest. I like the heat so much that I went camping in a tent in Florida in.
That's sick. That's disgusting. I can't
August?
believe you've done this.
I think August.
Shout out to my Florida friends.
You're
Or the
They're
month
probably
nasty.
not listening to this.
January,
Shout out to
February,
my
March,
uncle and his
April,
little
May,
baby brother.
June, July. I think it might have been July.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to know something incredible?
That's
Sure.
nasty.
Okay.
So you're like covered in moss day one.
No.
Like you're growing
the beach.
things.
You're growing
It's casual.
moss.
You don't think you're
like-
growing things on the
You-
beach?
you see
Wait,
the- you
hold
see-
up. You were camping on the beach?
Yeah.
That's allowed?
Fort Pickens.
Oh,
Well, okay, so it wasn't like on the beach, but literally, like I could stand up in the campsite and probably almost throw something into the water.
Okay.
So like it was in a little grove, but it was kind of nice because it had a little like on the coast and especially on an island like that, you get a
Uh-huh.
breeze going.
Oh, you were an island, one of the islands. off
Yeah,
of the
Fort
Flor-
Pickens, right
okay.
off of the Florida
Okay.
coast. But it was I don't know, it was pretty cool.
Taylor, I didn't get your
It's a good
input.
time.
Hot or cold?
I think cold, but I do like all the seasons. There's something good about each season, like spring.
So what's good about allergy season?
You get. Well, you've
It's
already
pretty.
said something bad about it, but like
I
in the
didn't say
spring,
anything. I
there's
asked you what's
pretty
good about allergy season.
Well, in the spring, there's like really pretty flowers and like the
Mhm.
birds sing. In the summer, yes, it's hot, but you
My
can go
favorite thing-
swimming and like
I can go swimming at
tanning
any time.
and
That's
water
weird. Don't do
parks
that.
and it's just
My
it's
favorite,
fun.
my favorite thing about spring is
I
the
agree.
tornadoes.
What?
I
Okay.
actually like that's
Okay.
you think that's a joke, but I actually am really fascinated with like
Okay, Dorothy.
tornadoes. Shh! Shut up! Shut up!
Excessive
you.
wind.
Listen, Look at me. Look at me.
Look at me. Look at
I
me.
love
Shut up.
disaster.
I am the captain now.
You know I do. It's really interesting.
I believe you. It's just funny.
Like, not only that,
Taylor.
but like ignoring.
I believe you, and I locked my car.
Yeah, lock your car around me. I'll get in there and I'll play some bad music.
He
That's
will.
true.
All right.
He'll do it.
He's
not
been
kidding.
there. No, but I do love like tornadoes. They're really cool. They look super. They're actually really beautiful if you can get over the fact that they're like a disaster.
Deadly killing machines.
Because look at a good picture of like
I
a tornado
to say
out in the
machines
field.
created by who?
Well,
Brennan said that tornadoes are deadly killing machines.
that's up to a considerable matter of debate, friend, and it's
I mean,
been
yeah,
that
yeah,
way for many
a,
years.
There is no debates.
An EF5 maybe.
Who made the tornadoes?
Do we want to get into theology right now?
HAARP.
Herb?
Thank you, Jake. No, harp. Thank you, Jake.
Oh.
We're moving on. The instant
Who's
hits
Herb?
like conspiracy, we move. Thanks, Jake.
Oh, it's
You're
the
welcome.
government.
Stop, both of you.
Oh. Well, the Earth's
Look
not
up
real,
HAARP.
Okay, actually,
so. AARP is
I
for
came up
old
with a-
people.
Let him
real
speak.
quick, I
Duh.
came
We
up
all-
with a funny realization on the whole flat Earth argument. The Earth is allowed to be flat. Hold on.
Hold on.
I'm with you. I'm
Jeez.
very much
But
with you.
it's like it's like flying through space, right?
Right.
Flat, and that's why we have gravity. Like you
Mhm.
jump, and then it like the floor like comes and gets you.
Yes,
Yeah,
sure.
it's falling.
Yeah.
All right. Just like a piece of paper, though, it's gonna crinkle as it like travels through space and crinkles up, and that's where mountains come from.
Yes. I'm
The
with
Earth's
you.
not
No.
real.
Taylor's so mad at me right
I'm-
now.
Thank you. I have more ammunition for the flat Earth movement.
I
Thank
don't
you.
even know
Shout out
Earth
to
or
AJ.
myself. It's all
Mm.
a simulation.
Or AJ. All right, so we have flat Earth conspiracy man, we've got computer simulation, and we have
didn't say
not
computer.
participating.
The healthy one.
The healthy one.
Honestly, though, yeah. Yeah, I can't deny that.
I can.
Don't. It's true.
I got the G.G. Allen eyes.
My last little question to y'all,
Yes.
before we get into a couple of local things going on around campus and around town. What's longer, a leap or a jump? We had this argument with my roommates a while ago.
I'd say a leap.
What's your definition of long?
It's relative. A leap.
I don't know, because I feel like a jump is higher, but a leap is further.
But Olympic long jump.
Yes, that was gonna be my reasoning.
The Olympics don't
Mhm.
matter.
Because you do in the long jump, you do a hop, a skip, and a jump, kind of little thing.
Yeah, but that's
But
three
you, like,
different
leap.
things.
I know, but you
Yeah, the
s-
last
do
one's
them
the
differently.
longest
Okay,
one.
actually,
Uh-huh.
I think leap. To me, when I think of leap, I think
Well, a leap does last a year, though, so...
true. It lasts 4. Anyways, what I was saying is,
Oh, yeah.
when I think of a
February.
leap,
Yeah.
I think of like a guy jumping from a cliff onto like something on the other side. So I think a leap is more the potential for length, and a jump is more like
What
Oh,
would a jump then?
a
be?
confirmed like it could be this long, it could be this short, but you have an idea of how long the jump is.
So like,
a leap is more indeterminate.
so like if you were like suddenly a video game character,
Yes.
your jump is this long. But if you were to activate the ability leap, you then roll the dice, and your leap has the ability to be longer, but it's probably going to be shorter. Like, where are we getting at there?
not
now?
probably going to be longer. I mean, sort of, yes. It's I don't know.
See, this is like it immediately like everyone made their first thought, and then everyone suddenly was just like, wait, well, I don't know.
I'm sticking
My
with
first
leap.
thought was, wait, well, I don't know.
Leap longer.
Yeah, I think leaps.
I still
longer.
think
Like,
a leap is a longer.
I think
in
of like
general.
jumping. You can jump up and down. Like this is just the first thing that came to my mind. Like
Right.
you can jump up and down. Like oh, they jumped for joy. Like
Mhm.
they didn't start like hopping
However-
across the room.
However, our company's stocks made it by leaps and bounds.
But
Hmm.
the bound is the long one.
Leaps and bound, like both
both are long.
both are long.
Yeah.
Long
Sure.
boy.
Yeah,
I
whatever
just
you say.
I feel like leap just sounds
believe you.
longer. Like oh, I jumped from here to there. Oh, I leaped from here to there. You know, like I don't
Yeah.
know. I just got that
Yeah.
vibe, so I'm
Same
sticking to
length.
Plus, it's not a
in
jump
letters.
of faith.
It
it's
could
a
be
leap
the
of
same.
faith.
One giant leap for mankind.
Mm.
it. Yeah, there you go.
Thank you, alien.
That's good.
Huh?
That's
What?
Neil Armstrong's, and it's Neil A backwards is alien.
Hold up.
Whoa.
Walk me through it again.
Oh my God!
I get it.
Stop,
Neil A backwards is alien.
dude. Dude, stop.
Literally.
Whoa.
Stop.
It is.
Stop.
Neil Armstrong was the first alien.
Probably not the first.
Dude.
Like,
Definitely the first.
no, there's some weird things going on in the Old Testament.
Alien on the moon.
Actually, a really good point.
Alien on the moon. What? They came off of this Earth. They had a pit stop somewhere.
Uh.
There's a dark side of the moon that we have legitimately never seen. All right, a little bit of science for you. The moon rotates at the same speed that it travels around us.
Mm.
As such, we have seen the same face of the moon, the same hemisphere, for the entire time that's been around us. There is legitimately a dark side of the moon, not just a Pink Floyd cover, that we have never seen. Apparently, the Russians were back there, or like Apollo 18 went back there. Both those films, and like the Cybertron, Dark Side of the Moon thing. Transformers are back there.
I just think The Wall was better.
The Wall.
Yeah.
Really?
No, that's a lie. I just want to make a stupid joke.
The Wall's great, but it's not.
Is that a
It's
movie?
not a Dark Side
It's
of the
another
Moon.
Pink Floyd album.
Aw.
It's also a movie. The Wall is also a movie.
Bye, Brendan.
is The Wolf of Wall Street.
So, fun fact about moon.
Yeah, go ahead.
I own an acre on the moon.
What?
Yeah.
No, you
Yeah.
didn't.
Yeah. There was like
You
this
have to.
thing.
You have to tell the entire story now.
There was like it just wasn't a big deal. I mean, you got
Oh, yeah, it's
my
not a
like
big
parents
deal.
knew somebody who knew somebody that was like on NASA, and they're like, dude, they're doing this thing where you can buy an acre on the moon, and they like will send you a certificate and like the exact coordinates, and so you know if like the Earth fails and I can breathe on the moon,
No,
I got an acre to live on.
No, but
Nice.
It was like $20 at the time.
Nice.
It was a
Yeah,
long
y-
time ago, and then they like sent you the certificate and the exact coordinates, and so yeah, I own an acre.
Taylor.
I'd buy 100.
Also, my name's
Hun-
going to Mars, and I think it's
Farm.
this year. They're sending out a little something to like walk around and like look for life.
Yeah. A
And
rover.
yeah, they there's a like really tiny plate. They had I think it was like I don't know like 10,000 names could fit on it.
Mm-hmm.
So the first 10,000 people to say they wanted their name would get it inscripted
Nice.
forever, and to go to Mars. So my name.
You'll be
is
one of
on
the
there.
first ones that the Martians
Yeah.
come and
I don't
beat
know-
up
yeah,
when this
I was about to
robot
say-
busts their door in.
Yeah, I don't know if
Yeah,
it's a
the
good thing or
Martians
bad
also-
thing, because like, what if the Martians are like, if they're
If
there
it's like in
and
the
they
movie
like,
Mars
they're like,
Attacks.
oh, and they
Martian
come in
men.
like, we're
We
gonna
all know
come
they're
get
from
these
Venus, not
10,000
Mars.
people, and it's
I don't
like,
think they're gonna get 10,000. I think they're just gonna like cut half the Earth off and be like, figure it out. Figure it out.
They're gonna cut the Earth in half.
Yeah, wouldn't you?
How do you
No.
know? You're one of them.
I have to go.
Da-da-da,
Yeah.
dun,
Also, the moon thing's a scam.
dun, dun.
Like,
Yeah.
How do we know? How do you know?
You can't
Dun.
like it's not
You
actually
never know.
that ownership
I
doesn't
could-
work.
What
I
if
own
we
a
all
star.
migrated
It's like
to the
Antarctica,
moon, and I
though.
had all my paperwork?
They
and I'm
landed
like,
on the
yo.
moon, but the
I-
footage was
alright,
faked.
I'm gonna be real with you though. What?
They landed on the moon, but the footage is faked.
Thanks, Jake, for your valuable input.
I think the moon is fake.
How does that? What?
The moon is fake.
Anyways,
Moon's
No,
not
it's
real.
not. It's real. They
The
The
landed
whole
on it.
moon is
We
fake.
know they landed on it,
Brendan,
but the footage was faked.
I think the
the
concept
moon.
of the moon is
So like
real.
the moon landing was faked.
No,
Brendan.
it was real, but the footage.
The footage was fake.
Yes.
The moon is fake. You own the moon. Like, this is the wildest panel I've ever dealt with in my life.
But it was
Absolute
faked.
lunatics.
I'm just trying to talk about leaps and jumps
All of
here.
you. Oh
Leaps
yeah,
are
that is
longer.
where we were.
Leaps are
Leaps are
longer.
longer.
Leaps are
Leaps are longer.
leaps are longer.
Hit us up on Twitter if you have any idea on. You can like settle the debate because we've had leaps are longer. Leaps are longer. I'm
Sell the
afraid to
debate on the
answer.
footage, dude. I want
I
to see the
am
real moon
afraid.
footage. It doesn't exist because the radiation ate it. That's why they had to re-record it.
Okay, cool.
Radiation must have been hungry.
It was very hungry.
Hungy. I'm radiation hungry for
Yes,
nugs.
it was.
Okay.
Let's move on to some local things going on. A little less extraterrestrial here.
We're gonna find a way to get extraterrestrials involved.
Who's interested in comic books? Cool, moving on.
Crickets.
If only Lance were here.
Yeah, right. Wait, is he here?
No, he left.
Oh.
He eyed me on the way out and said, make sure you lock everything.
Okay. Yes, sir.
So,
I'm not into comic books.
They're
so.
interesting. I'm not a professional.
I mean, I like
can't
manga.
talk about it.
there is no such
Yeah.
thing as a professional comic book
I have no
interester.
space to talk
Interester?
about it, but I think
Yeah.
it's
What
cool.
do you mean you don't have space to talk about it? It's just like art on paper.
You can,
yeah,
like-
that's cool.
You don't
my
even
least
need
favorite
like
type.
okay, if you want to get into it, you don't even need physicals. You can just go online.
Comicsology. Or you can pirate them, as Jake says.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Actually,
I want
there
someone to
are
sue me.
comics that I like. Or well,
Hold up, what?
one comic.
You do or don't?
I don't.
Oh, my bad.
I don't.
It's called.
Piracy is a right, but that doesn't mean I want people to know it. Anyways, don't pirate your media, cause that's bad. I guess. It's not. It's not.
So
Yeah.
on campus in the Fine Arts Center, they have a sequential self/comic book exhibit.
Mm.
I don't know.
False Sneeze.
I did
if
a
it-
PSA for it.
What?
False Sneeze is a comic that I like.
Oh,
He's
Continue.
been trying to think about it.
thanks.
You had to look it up.
Thank you, Brendan.
Yep.
I don't know what the exhibit is exactly like, but it ends at 5 p.m. this Friday. So when this podcast comes out, if you listen to it within the first couple hours, you will then have 24 hours to go
Sorry.
to it because this drops tomorrow at 5.
Mm.
So we tape things in advance and make it very obvious. Woo.
So yeah, you probably missed it. Let me do one of those.
So thanks. Thank you, Jake.
Boom.
But I want someone to go and then tell
And
me about it. Go
Jake
hit up
looks
the
like-
station's Twitter. Let us know what it's like.
An 80-year-old man trying to use my phone.
Now he just has your phone, Brendan.
I have two phones.
Hey.
Congratulations.
Are you gonna change your name to Kevin?
You understand all that tracking just doubled, right?
Okay.
Have fun getting off the grid now, sucker.
Yeah, now the grid's on you.
Okay.
In you.
Mm.
Couple of other things going on for all of you sports fans out there. Saturday, we're going to have a lot of things on campus. We've got baseball, men's and women's basketball. I forgot to write down which teams we're facing off against, but students can get in for pretty cheap. I believe it's free $99.
Free 99.
I like
Yes.
that.
That's what we pay for here at Tarleton State University.
Free
Part of the
$99.
tuition.
It's part of tuition, I
which
believe.
is pretty cool.
It's part of that. I think it's part of the athletics fee.
We don't have a fascist school like some of you other D1 nerds out there. We get to
Yeah.
go to games when we want, and yeah, pretty much just when we want. Seating's, first come, first serve.
Seating is first come, first
Still
serve.
better
so
than
make
you
sure you get
guys,
there
though.
sooner.
I'd
I don't
rather
even
have
know
free
what a
bus
ticket
later.
lottery is. Jerks.
Can you take the money that I'm not spending to go to your
And
stuff
base-
to
And
give me some
baseball
free books?
No.
and baseball is on Sunday.
What is baseball?
Huh?
Hmm?
No, run that by
Give
me
me
again.
your phone.
No, run that by
I
me
don't
again.
have a phone. I don't know what you're talking
No,
about.
what was it? You
I
asked a
said,
question,
what's
bud.
baseball?
Hmm? Yeah.
America's pastime. Jeez. Oh, I remember now. I forgot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You forgot you're
Mhm.
American for some reason. Huh?
Oh my God, is he?
Suddenly forgot
you
that
a
you were
pinko?
American. What?
Is he a pinko?
I don't even know what that means.
He's walking out. He's walking out.
You interested in sports,
He's
Taylor?
gone.
Yeah.
He's gone.
Sports are cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you need to go?
I'm okay.
You're
I'll
okay.
push through at least till 8. If we
I
go
still
that
have your
far.
hat.
I will. We got a couple more things to cover, and then
Okay.
we ought to be
I'll
done.
be a trooper.
I think this is going really
Yeah.
well,
Yeah,
Yeah,
guys.
we're
Thank
pretty
you.
close. We're pretty close. last couple of things. We've got ourselves February 9th, the Chicken House Flea Market again.
Flea market.
Ooh.
I've never been.
I've been to the flea market once.
Where is it? Where is it?
So if you head out of Dublin, what, Brendan? Yes.
What
do you,
kind of fleas does one purchase at
Stop.
a flea market?
Okay.
Yes, thank you. Mute him.
Like 3. So let's just put you down there. So, the flea market. It's I think if you head, what's that? East? No. If you head west, right out of town towards Dublin, and do you know where the iron and steel mill is? The recycling plant?
No.
No. Have you been on that side of town
Yeah.
a
Do you
lot?
just go like straight through Dublin?
You just go. You don't even make it to Dublin.
Oh.
You want to stop before you make it to St. Mary's,
Mm.
which is the big Catholic church on the left side.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's gonna be a big, like, literally, you know what a chicken house looks like
Yeah.
at all? So it's it is an actual chicken house that
Aw.
was converted into a flea market, and they have this parking lot that is just all grass. But if you get there soon enough, you'll just see a bunch of gravel lines running through a lot of green grass and a
Hmm.
couple of booths that they'll set up outside underneath a tent.
Oh.
And then when you can
Cool.
go in underneath the tent for all of those pop-up shops, or you can make your way under into all the booths on the inside.
Cool.
It's a bunch of like handmade stuff. It's a flea market. Normal.
Yeah.
All right, Brendan, you are off of exile. You can get off Twitter now.
Nice.
Any of y'all interested in, are y'all fans of Courtney Patton?
Don't know who that
I don't know
is.
who that is.
Because she's coming to town.
Oh.
You
Proud
lucky
of her.
dogs.
Like
Wow.
Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Yeah. I believe she's coming to Twisted J. I'll look her up real quick and we can talk about.
I feel like I know
Music
that
for a
name,
second.
Oh,
actually.
I do know about that.
Who,
I was
who-
looking into PSAs and I came across that.
Oh, they sent one in?
Mm-hmm.
So she is Americana, country, folk. Oh,
Folk.
hey, let's talk about her music.
Music.
Oh wait, her show. Chapel on the Bosque. So she's going to be here Sunday. It's 4
She
p.m.
local?
Let's go to her homepage. Let's scroll down.
What is Chapel on the Bosque? Like what?
No, it doesn't look like she's just doing tours.
Oh,
Chapel on the Bosque.
is it like a song?
No, it's a place.
It is.
She's doing it's something on Bosque Crossing.
If it's
I
not
guess.
one of the 4 or 5 bars in town, I probably don't know about it.
Yeah, it's not.
Along with the fast food chains
It's not.
and campus.
It's not.
Those are the 3 things that I know the location of.
You and every other student here. It's not. I've just said it's not one of those things.
I'm sorry.
So she spent the last few years building her lifelong passion into a career, touring, studying, writing constantly, singing her heart out on stage.
Singing. Her
Country,
heart.
Americana, and folk. Nice. I like the last two. First one, I don't know. Country, I don't know.
Texas
What are your
country's
guys'
a
thought
bop.
about country, like, recently?
It's a
live-
bop.
Recently,
Well,
it has to be underground.
which yeah,
Mhm.
Nashville country sucks. It always has. But like Texas red dirt, that's good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it
You
can
live
be.
in a country town, man.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
you do go to
came
school in
to
Stephenville.
Stephenville.
Yeah, just cause
That doesn't mean
just
that
'cause-
I like. Wait, what?
just cause
That's
the
not
school
an.
has
Hold
a
up. That's not an answer to my question, though. Actually,
No, she's
just-
just being what's
no,
the word?
facetious.
No,
I've asked
no.
you. What are
It's
your
like
thoughts on it?
racist,
And you
but
just
not
told me
quite.
I
Okay.
came to a country town. That doesn't
Classist?
answer my question, Taylor.
I mean,
Are you
like,
saying
you
that
seem like you didn't like it? You're the one who came to a country town.
Those are the two that said an opinion.
Oh,
I've asked a question.
I was just getting your vibes that you didn't like it.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Exactly. I
Well-
was right.
But that's not my fault.
but
That's
no,
the
but-
country's fault.
no, but
No.
here's the thing
Well,
though.
Verna made an amazing joke on it. It was the fact that it was all the exact same song, and they have they do a key change in the middle, and that's it.
Most people like
Yeah.
country for the stories.
That's
true
folk.
too.
I mean, folk too, but
No,
You
that's
listen to
folk
Red Dirt,
music.
brother.
No,
a
I
lot of
haven't.
folk
should.
actually got turned into country, so they have very similar
Yeah, which means that
roots.
country is just folk with a new paint job.
Kind of.
You know, unless
I mean,
it's
yeah,
like
Kinda,
that's,
sorta.
country's never claimed to be anything different. At its roots,
Mm-mm.
country has always been stylized folk music. It's been like
Yeah.
Southern American folk music. I mean, honestly, look at Hank Williams. I mean, Hank Williams was essentially
third.
a folk artist. No,
yes,
no,
yes, yes.
no.
Hank Williams III.
Nope.
Yes,
Negatory.
yes.
We obviously have too many opinions on this. If you're interested in country, folk, or Americana, and you are free Sunday, February 9th
I got
at
a
4
lot of
p.m.,
onions.
you can head
don't have any
into
onions.
Bosque Chapel and listen to a little bit of country, folk, or or Americana. Last thing, do any of you know how to fly a kite?
No.
Yes.
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 Okay, how?
What do you, well,
No,
Carefully.
really.
I'm
I
like
don't.
spooked.
I don't know
Really?
how to spell. I don't know how to fly a kite. Never have.
For real.
Yeah.
Okay, so like you got string and you
'Kay.
have the kite.
Got it.
So you take off enough string to kind of give it a little bit of slack. Like
Okay.
not a lot. Like
Like,
enough.
and we're still on the ground at this point.
You're
yeah.
still on the ground. So
'Kay.
like with one hand you hold on the string, one hand you hold on to the kite,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to pick a day that's like relatively windy. You don't.
Well, that's really cool because February 8th is kite flying day.
What?
in
Wait,
Stephenville.
Oh,
Wait,
you're
wait, I have a-
me.
I have a very important question about kites.
That was
Actually,
just a segue.
what do you do when the kite string pops?
What?
Okay, Jake, I'm just gonna let you in on. That's like thumbnail sized on this video. Like you are 1/3 of the screen, my friend.
My shirt says when the kite string pops.
Does it?
When the kite string
Oh, it
pops.
does.
It's
does
his
say
acid
that.
bath
Yeah.
band
Huh.
shirt.
Yeah.
Also, strings can't pop, Jake.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
can.
they can.
Strings?
Can they
You're-
break and make a popping noise?
I mean,
And then
It's
they
a
pop?
what? It's a
It's an-
string.
It's an expression.
okay, but when I think of like a taut string that's like been cut or something, or like
Yeah, it's being cut.
finally has so much pressure put on it that it just kind of.
Yeah, that's called severance.
No, that's what you get when you leave a company.
I got one of those.
That's
it was,
nice.
It was weird.
I-
No,
I-
it was weird,
I
dude.
don't even have a 401k.
They were like, "Hey, you got to do something with your 401k," and I
Or
was
a
like,
Roth
"What if I don't?" They're like, "We'll send it to you," and I was like, "Really?"
All right.
It's sick.
401k.
It's like a fourth paycheck.
401.
I can't even count that high.
So the weather should be good. I looked it up, and we're not gonna have any of this inclement stuff. None of
No.
this cold.
No.
It's gonna be windy.
No. I
Should
want
be should
cold.
warm back up.
I want miserable coldness.
I
'cause I'm
know
a miserable person.
Not all of us
Also
are
true.
miserable people like Jake that want eternal cold. You are just. Oh,
He's a vampire.
What's his name? No,
Oh.
for the old like. I gotta look it up now.
Jack Frost,
Nosferatu.
Not Jack Frost,
Oh.
but the Cold Miser.
I guess.
Yeah,
Cold
Miser.
miser.
Let's
Snow miser.
Snow
Snow
Miser.
miser.
Snow Miser. Here,
Yeah.
I'll-
I am going to turn.
Snow Miser. That's Jake.
Hi, I'm the snow miser.
Jake is Snow Miser.
I'm sorry, I just take up to right into the microphone.
What is that
And that's
from?
your brother.
I've definitely seen that.
This is
What's that
from
from?
the old Santa Claus.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Claima-
like Kris
not
Kringle.
claymations. Yeah,
like-
the old Kris Kringle.
Yeah.
Puppeteered versions of
Gotcha.
Love those movies.
Christmas specials.
They're
Those
pretty good.
movies.
This
yeah,
one's from the
They're
Year Without
good.
Santa Claus,
Oh.
They like embody Christmas to me.
right?
Mm.
You know, I don't know.
I am
why.
Christmas.
Really? That's weird. I thought you were Jake.
I can be both.
Nope.
Christmas is a title.
Yo, it's 2020. My man can be both.
Nope. Sorry.
I
it's
am-
just
Nope.
Christmas.
Nah, dude, nah.
One or
No,
the other. You can either be corporeal or not.
I'm both.
You're saying Christmas is incorporeal, or you're saying
Yes.
Jake is incorporeal?
Not the second one.
I'm both. I don't care what you say.
That's fair. You have that right.
Okay.
I have that right because it's my right to be both.
Yeah. No.
Yes,
no.
he said yes.
Ah,
He said yes.
We have it
I've
on
been
recording.
defeated.
Congratulations, Jake. You
Thank
have done
you.
it.
Thank you. I am Christmas.
You put this man on
and
blast.
Jake.
Great. Great.
Congratulations. We have all come to the realization
You're
that
welcome.
Jake is both Christmas and Jake. Is there anything interesting y'all want to bring up? Because I'm out of topics.
Oh man, I had one and I completely forgot it.
After becoming Christmas?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
It's-
I'd rather be Christmas.
I'm glad.
I love that for you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of something interesting.
Yeah, go on. Plug your stuff.
Well, I was just gonna say that I'm not working here anymore after Friday.
That's the announcement. You've
Yeah,
done it.
I'll
You're
still be
betraying
on the
us.
show occasionally, though.
You'll still be
hopefully.
on the
My
show,
class
yeah.
gets
Yeah, a
canceled.
little.
You're being.
little
Yeah,
tag
there are
along.
actually like 4 or 5 times this semester that class is gonna be canceled.
Yeah, show
So
up.
like I can come in.
Come on
Sweet.
back in.
Get in
Bet.
here.
All
Yeah,
right.
be
Back
good.
here.
Also, don't forget to check out Lore Libraries. I don't know specifically when it's going to come out, but you better just check out the Tarleton Podcast Network. Is that what it's called?
Yep. Tarleton Radio Network.
Tarleton Radio Network.
Follow us
Yeah.
on the Instagrams, Twitters.
Until it comes out.
This YouTube channel should have a link in the description
It's going to be good.
to our other
Amazing.
accounts, and you can sort of track all the information back there. We'll make a couple of announcement things and links to it as well as your show starts getting closer to coming out. But we're like a month out basically from episode 1, and then after the summer hits, we'll be very well versed in getting season 2 up and running. So this
Season
is
2 is going to be a lot smoother. Season 1 will be a little rough, but
pure
honestly,
experimental.
seriously, but it'll be good though. I do
This
from
is
the
the
bottom of my heart
He
believe
said
that.
earlier today this is the first project that he was genuinely excited.
I am legitimately kind of like fangirling over this idea. I think it's going to be awesome, and I think everybody's going to
good.
enjoy it that actually listens to it, hopefully.
His notes are extensive, so
Fingers
if there's anyone
crossed.
who knows all the information, it's this one now.
Extensive and messy.
Yeah.
It's going to be
For-
great, though. It's going to be a roller coaster. That's
Second
for
half
sure.
of the show is just gonna be a mess. You said.
You know what? Just as a little bit of like a sneak preview, like the first episode is literally just going to be. We are going to cover 9 movies. Is that right?
Yeah, 9 movies.
Yeah, 9 movies.
Rogue One. Did you
10
think about that?
movies.
Oh, and the Han Solo one.
9 movies. And we're getting there. It'll probably be about 9 movies.
Are we explaining
The
the
Lego
an hour.
games?
The Mandalorian as
No.
well?
Yes.
Not yet.
Yes.
We're
Oh.
gonna get into that later. We're gonna get into all that stuff later. But right now, I'm trying to make this as beginner accessible as possible. So if you've never watched Star Wars, but you kind of
It's
want to
Star
get
Wars.
into
If
it,
you hadn't caught on,
you need to
Start with the
Tune
Lego
in.
games.
tune in. Well, here's what I'm saying. If you think Star Wars is interesting, but have just never gotten into it, this is what's gonna get you into it. This is gonna be your beginner's guide to Star Wars lore.
stop hitting the table.
Sorry, I'm excited.
He's excited.
He is excited. You can tell. You can smell it.
That's because I forgot to put on deodorant.
I smell ash.
Oh yikes! Jake, you okay?
I smell ash.
Jake, are you safe? Is this the cost of being Christmas?
Yes,
We're gonna slowly learn the
Unfortunately.
cost of being Christmas.
it's not pretty.
Over all
I
of
tried
this.
to tell you.
Mm.
You didn't tell me. You just said I couldn't.
I tried to tell
Taylor,
I
you.
can
anything you want to
smell
plug? You
ash.
wanna? We're coming to the end of the episode. You survived. You made it the whole way.
Yeah, I did.
We
I
didn't know if
lived through
Taylor
it.
was gonna make the to the end of this episode.
It's always rough.
I
It's
thought
all
there was gonna
right.
be a corn dog
It's always
show.
rough. All right, you don't have to be here tomorrow,
Sorry.
next week if you don't want to.
It's okay.
What? Anything you want to talk about? The cool thing you're going to leave for next week?
Yes, tell us about that.
Oh yeah, I'm headed off to TMEA, which is Texas Music Educators Association. Normally I can't remember that whole acronym, and that's
You
the
did it.
second
You did
time I've
good.
done it.
Proud of
So
you.
Good job.
yeah, air high five. It was good. Okay. So basically, it's a thing for like music education people, and
Mhm.
I'm technically music business. But there's this thing, and it's called CBDNA. Don't know what that one stands for.
I
But
think
they
that's
take.
that thing that's
Stop it.
Never mind.
Yeah, we know where you're
No,
going.
quit,
It's
both of
funny.
you.
Sorry.
Legalize
you
it,
stop.
but
I'm
Quit, both of you.
sorry.
Taylor, please
Thank you.
continue with your good thing.
Thank you. This is why it's always rough.
Sorry, Dad.
Anyway. But yeah. So basically, every university takes they nominate. I think it's like up to 5 people
Mm-hmm.
from the band, and like for this big band that's okay. So then every state in the U.S. does this,
Mhm.
and they look at like your GPA and how well you can play and stuff, and you have to like audition for it, and there's music, and then they pick like just enough to have one orchestra or one band or whatever, and I got picked.
Nice.
So the conductors that will be there for the official day will be at, some of them will be at TMEA. So I'm kind of going as like getting to meet them ahead of time so
yeah?
they remember me.
Sick.
Yeah, so, and it's just
Nice.
fun. So
That's good.
yeah, it'll be good. I'm excited for it.
That's good.
Yeah.
We hope you have a very fun time.
Thank you.
I hope you have a phenomenal time, and I hope you also appreciate the fact that you were so much more talented than I will ever be.
Thank you.
I got
I appreciate
okay at playing the bass clarinet.
Yeah.
Not good, but
Bass
okay.
clarinet's hard.
Yeah, you're over here like nationally
Acronyms?
incredible
Yeah,
with acronyms and conductors.
You saw
and
what she was
things.
writing when we were doing ATC, or when y'all
yeah.
were doing ATC, and I was bothering you.
Yeah.
She was just casually just
chilling.
transcribing
Music.
music that had 16th notes in it.
Oh, yeah.
I have
Simple.
no idea how to
Music
handle
theory
those.
homework.
Yeah, just some music theory homework. I'm over here
Music,
like
dude, it's
I
all-
played jazz chords for fun. She's like writing real music.
Look, all music's just wiggly air, dude. Not
Wiggly
Jake.
really.
All right, Jake, I want
It's specifically
what you have
wiggled
just done.
air.
Hold on, let me explain. What you've just done is taken all of the great things that Taylor was doing and reduced them into a little statement and throw it on the ground.
Thank you.
That's what you just did.
You are absolutely welcome.
You were like, Taylor was like, yeah, I'm doing this cool thing. And you were like, yeah, well.
Yeah, well, here's why it's stupid.
You went, huh, please. So what?
It's okay, I'll go now.
No. You will stay here because it makes me feel bad that I said that now.
Jake, what would you like to talk about for a second?
Hi, my name's Jake.
From State Farm.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been your episode
ruined it.
of Cruisin the
Sorry.
Planet.
I
Episode
was
11.
Listen, come back here.
What?
I was supposed to say, hi, I'm Jake, and then he was supposed to cut. You interrupted it. I love
Just
you.
cut out before that. Wait.
We're live.
This
Or
is,
just-
Oh.
or just end it.
I'm
That's
just
okay.
gonna pull these down. Just gonna pull these down.
Bye,
Y'all are.
folks.
Have a great time.
Bye.
Bye. Have a
Y'all
great
want to
time.
say bye, everybody?
Bye,
I love
everybody.
you all.
Okay, bye.